just sort of start the stream. Got the kilobytes. Just do one of these straight away. 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 Hi, you're with Scott. I'm Ganji Kid. That's my hand in big. Look, oh, giant. I'll keep that away. Let's pop out the chat. Let's do that first. Let's pop out the chat. Pop. Oh, I can see that. That's the main thing. Right now, we don't need to have it on the screen. We'll get it on the screen in a minute. Hi, you're with Scott. This is Ganji Kid, my stream. It's midnight. It's always midnight. This is your right ear. And this is your left ear. And that's back in the middle. And tonight we are playing a little bit of our game. It's Friday, really. It's 1907 on a Friday. Trying to stream more regularly. I'll do the little introduction chuffing and then show you what we're doing, and then first of all, there's a doggy. Look, there's a doggy. There's a doggy. There. He's having a little quiet time. Daddy's on the internet talking to you. So that's the doggy. Now I'll turn that off now because it's not going to do anything exciting. It's just there though. If we need to check in with him, he's there. There's the doggy. That's what we're doing today. What's that? What's that? It's Yabatanien. Yabatanien. I think it's a mobile game. It's we'll show you in a minute. It's gruesome. But I'll give you a bit of a talk about that before we get into that. First of all, I'm Ganji Kid. This is my stream. If you want to support this stream for any reason, even while it's offline, even if you're just watching this offline, you can go to coffee.com Ganji. It's at the bottom there. It's at the bottom there, coffee.com Ganji. And it takes you to this page that you can see at the top. It's our little, your page, my page. Excuse me. And that's, I get all of the, if you tip me on that, I get all of it. Twitch doesn't take a cut. Coffee doesn't take a cut. I get the tip. Thank you. The tippies, that's on there. If you, hang on. If you tip me on Twitch, chippies and tippies on Twitch, absolutely grateful. Thank you very much. Twitch take half. So that's kind of fair. I mean, they do a lot. We're on Twitch. I'm not paying them. They take half though. So if you want to give Twitch half, do it through Twitch. If you want to give it all to me, yay, probably better. Then do it through coffee.com Ganji. And that's always available even when it's offline. So you can all do that. I hope I'm in focus enough. For some reason I seem to be out of focus. I'm better in focus when I'm back here. Why am I so in focus over here? I just did this a minute ago. Chuffers. Let's try it again. That's got to be right, hasn't it? It's got to be about right. Is that better or worse? It seems a bit worse, doesn't it? I don't know. If I move further and further away, eventually I'll hit focal range. No, that's better. It's better when I'm over here. That'll do, won't it? Oh, chuffers. Why'd you get into this now? Why'd you have it at such a narrow focal range? Why don't you have it a wider focal? Well, because I'm using an adapter for the lens. So anyway, look, that's by the by. This is going to be the focal range. That's what we're going to use. 1 2 chuffy 1 2. So yeah, you can buy me a coffee on there. You know, buy me a coffee. That's nice. Thanks. Help support the stream. It's about building up to a point where we get a sponsor, and then that takes the pressure off the donations. And the donations are just for fun then, and for good times. And we'll start giving some to charity. But until then, we need to build up. I need to be sustainable. This needs to be sustainable. This is how we're doing it. You know the concept. That should do for myself. I'm Ganji Kid on YouTube. You can find it all there. All the streams we do. I just chuff them straight up there without editing them. That's like a stream archive. And one thing I wanted to say at the start of this stream, that I'm going to say at the start of a lot of streams, If you could check that Care Advocates video there was somebody special that talked to us on Mental Health Monday. They were having some difficulties in their life. I'm not going to keep naming them by name, but if they're watching, they'll know who I'm talking to, because I found the advocate system for care in Ireland. So if you're in care, if you're in Ireland, then check out that video there. It's got all the details for the advocates system. They seem like a really good group of people. Hopefully that can help somebody. So that's there on that. Also on Ganji Kid YouTube channel, you will see Ganji Cuts, Ganji Kid Art Chat, Mental Health Monday, Ganji Clips in this little section here with different channels. They're all our channels. I edit stuff. So if you don't want to watch an hour and 14 minutes of the stream, you can just watch the Ganji cut of it. If it's a good one, I do a Ganji cut. And the art chat, for example, that rave flashback video, that's a 3-hour video of me talking about dance culture and how it progressed through the ages, well, through certain ages. And I edited that for the art chat. So, you know, it's culture, it's art, it goes on the art chat edit. So you don't have to watch the 2 hours 45, you can just watch the art chat edit. And if you prefer this long form, always there for you on YouTube, always there. You can go and watch all the videos. There's now quite a lot of them. So if you click the old uploads, look, there's quite a lot of the chuffers now. So there's some fun to be had, hours to be whiled away, listening to me chuff on. We've been doing it for a year now. We've been streaming for a year. Started this actual channel 4 years ago to put my game footage on. But that's all I did, a bit of Mario Maker. And then sort of a year ago, 9 months ago officially, look, 9 months ago, started streaming 9 months ago. And this is our development up till today's present day, when we are actually a Twitch affiliate, and we've got a nice group of Ganji Puka Warrior crew who drop into the streams when they know it's happening. I never tell them when it's happening. So. And we've got the coffee thing. We've got the thing on the screen now. When you do a tippy, it comes up with the coffee. If you do a subscription, that comes on the screen. We've got the nice lighting, which I can change in the old room. In the old room these days, look, I can change the lighting. We change it to a different colour. Wow, wow, that's nice, isn't it? It's nice. Got that. We've been developing. I haven't improved the camera. That's one thing that we're going to do, because we want 4K resolution. But over there in the room, you can't quite see at the moment, but over there we've got a full podcast setup now, full podcast studio. Into the new year, we're going to be getting guests and talking with them in our podcast studio. We've got game console. I bought that. You know, we've really been developing as a stream. We've really been developing, and I'm so grateful to the Ganji Puka Warrior crew. So thank you. And onwards into the next year, we hope to develop into a stream with a sponsor. And so on Mondays, this is what we do. Every Monday, we talk Mental Health Monday. So you'll see those videos there on the channel, on the old Ganji Kid channel. It's actually got its own channel, Mental Health Monday there. And then Tuesday, I'm supposed to be editing and doing gameplay on the YouTube channel, but we haven't got the YouTube channel working for gameplay yet. I'm supposed to be streaming gameplay on the YouTube channel Tuesdays and Thursdays, but haven't got that working yet. YouTube's still a bit stuttery. We'll get there. And then Monday's Mental Health Monday, Wednesday Art and Culture right here, Friday what I'm doing now, chuffing, indie games, that sort of stuff, weekend streaming. You know, I'm a streamer, editor, cultural conversationalist, comedian. A bit like Limmy. If you keep saying it, it'll happen. A bit like Limmy. So here we are today. I've done my, God, how long have I been on stream now just talking about myself? 8 minutes. That's a that's a long introduction, isn't it? But I'm just, you know, that's the overview. That's what we do. So today we're playing Yabatanien. There's a couple of games on here that we need to finish, and I should say this actually. When we first got started on stream, the first gameplay that we did was of a game called Earthbound, and the problem with Earthbound was that Sony started copyright striking the videos because Sony owned some music involved in it or something. Look it up on the internet. Earthbound's got problems with its copyright strike for the music, so I had to grind that to a halt. I wanted to finish Earthbound on stream, but I can't because it copy. So then, you know, I got this nice idea that we play more small, I don't want to say small scale, indie games, playing through to completion because they're only 3 or 4 hours long, that sort of thing. So we've done that a couple of times. We did Journey of the Broken Circle, played it all the way through, and we got an interview with the developer, so I was really pleased with that. We've got the full playlist there on the channel there. So that's the sort of style of thing we do. I just wanted to mention though that we did start Green Hell. Where's Green Hell? Started Green Hell. So I've got some new games on there already to confuse you. We started Green Hell. We've got to play Bullseye. So these things get a little bit backlogged, and I don't realise how long games are going to take. I intended to play the games on the YouTube side on the alternate days when I'm not editing, so they're just straight up there on YouTube, full gameplay, you know, not the edited version or that, so you get to see the end of the game. So there's a follow through on the start point, but we haven't got that quite working yet. But that's not to say that we're not going to finish Green Hell. Don't worry, I don't want you to feel. And there's another one, Joe Dever's Lone Wolf. I like to start a game, have a look at it on stream so that we can talk about it, do a little arty review conversation. But then the gameplay where I finish it has to come, because like some of these things take hours, don't they? Quite a few hours. So that has to come on like the secondary, like the gameplay core live YouTube bit. And we're not quite getting there yet. So I apologise for not finishing certain games. However, I'm not apologising because I'm never going to claim to be, you know, I'm not the streamer that streams one game for 24/7 for the next 8 to 10 weeks and fully, you know, discovers every unlockable and speedruns the chuffer. Like, that's not me. That's not me. I'm into indie games, doing reviews of them, talking about art and culture, and bringing in, because computer games are artworks and the people that make them are artists. So trying to bring them into the conversation, doing a few interviews with developers, things like that. I've got a film to show you. That I made that's a documentary about indie games. So we're going to build that in as well coming in the new year with the podcast. Hopefully, because I've got to get my other hard drive out, edit some little bits so that I can show you and then we can talk about it. Can't show you the whole film, obviously. We want to build up to that, and hopefully at the end of the project, you know, you can be exposed to enough of it, enough of the word can get out, etc. So eventually we say, okay, now let's all sit down and watch the main film together. But that's going to come as well. It's all indie developer interviews that we've got, 15 really good ones. Some really interesting people that work for Nintendo, people that created Candy Crush, people that, the guy that made Clash of Clans, I got him on there. So some really interesting stuff to come. Oh meow, let's have the cat in. Oh, we can have all that interesting stuff when I'm a competent, professional looking, capable stream. There's no point in just starting off with my film interviews that are really nice and well shot and, you know, handcrafted. Just starting off with them in the first 6 months of my stream, because it'd just be like saying it to nothing. I want to build up to it. So that's coming. So I'm really pleased with the development of the stream, how we're getting more professional, more skilled, how we're going. You know, I'm really pleased with all that. So thanks, yeah. And for that reason, we're not going to stress about, oh, you have to complete this game and you didn't finish all of Green Hell. And like, I want, me personally, if you give me like a 2-week holiday in the Bahamas, I'd say, oh, can I take my Switch and play Green Hell? Because I want to do that. But life around me, like this week, we've had to move my sister's possessions because she's had to move her house. When you say move the house, you don't move the house. You leave it. It stays where it is. You have to take all your possessions. So like that's been going on. I've got these chuffing animals. All sorts. But, you know, given infinite free time, I just play your Green Hell on a Tuesday and a Thursday in the evenings, if I can get it working on YouTube. So that's coming. Lots to come. But until then, we're just going to continue in this vein of playing little indie games, because what would be nice, hopefully, if I don't chuff on for another 20 minutes, is we've got some good ones. Look, Dandara, we're going to play that. That's going to be interesting. We play, I can't pronounce it, Yabatanien. We play Yabatanien. Hang on, Zelda's getting hypey-pipey now, isn't chill out, Zelda. Chill out. We play Yabatanien. It's only like an hour and a half long or something, apparently. So we play it in one stream and we finish it. And then we can do a little video about it and talk about it. So that's where we're at. Right, I'm going to close it because I want to open it again. I'll show you why. Let's go to the chuffing Nintendo Switch. This is the chuffing Nintendo Switch. Do you like my little layout of the page? Where are you? Where's chat? That's a problem. Where's chat? Chat window capture. Let's have that as Firefox chat Twitch. There you are. Oh, you little. There you are, all in little. How'd you like being all in a little teeny tiny chat? Can I make it big in other ways? Oh, I'll tell you what I can do. I can make this over here. I can size it so it's the right sort of size over here, and then I can make it bigger over here. Sorry, I'm sorry that you have to see what I'm going on about being professional. When I don't do this sort of messing around every time, then is a good time to start showing you the top grade quality stuff. Right, there you go. Look, nice little arrangement of a window. Tip me at coffee.com Ganji. It'll come up on the screen. You can do it offline if you feel like it's worth it. If you feel like throwing me £3 to help me out on this endeavour is worth it, instead of, chuffing it away on another chuffing disposable cup custard tutti frutti pumpkin sparkle. I drink soya milk. I'm a vegan. I'm a good guy. I'm not going to give that money to no chuffer. Yabatanien. So this game, select the user. That's me. I'm the user. I'm the captain of this ship. Oh, a little bit of music. You don't expect that because this game has no music. True, it's true. It'll tell you in a minute. You watch. Italian games. I don't know which country it's from. It might be Japan, or it might be Korea. It might be China. Yabatanien. I mean, there's some symbols there, aren't they, that look Japanese to me. We're going to context this with a couple of things. I'm not going to do all the talking about it now. We're just going to play the game tonight. But I want you to think about, before we get started, I want you to think about a couple of concepts that we're going to, chat about afterwards. That's the way we're going to frame this. Is violence bad for children? Is violence bad for children? Is violence? Yes, of course it is. What are you going on about? What I mean is the exposure to cartoon or computer, pixel art, cinematic violence in there's a whole spectrum there, isn't there, of really crystal clear HD filmed, realistic looking, super gory, violence without much context, like just a murder scene out of nowhere, or a computer game like Fortnite where it's more cartoony, colourful, or even an actual cartoon where the violence is contextualised by this cartoony world and knowledge that you are in a computer game or watching a Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty's a bad choice because it's not for kids, but because of other reasons. We'll talk about and other reasons another time, because context. But there's that whole spectrum of violence that you see in media, whether it's through films, whether it's through computer games, whether it's through cartoons, whatever. There's that violence. We're going to bring Squid Game into that. We're going to talk about Squid Game a little bit, maybe. Bring Squid Game into that. This is like a Squid Gamey game. But there's also this other form of violence, which is real violence, where a child can be exposed to... I'll say this. Where a child can be exposed to, for example, being hit themselves by one of their parents, being hit by one of their peers, violent acts within the peer group, violent acts within the adult group that's looking after them, violent outbursts. Then you've got this other form of violence they could be exposed to, sporting violence like boxing, like a man hitting a horse with a whip while he rides the horse. That's violence. There's lots of other forms of violence that are sort of inbuilt in, I want to say domestic, but non-domestic, but social situations. You hear on the news all the time, and then you're exposed, again, it's media exposure, but it's a different kind of media exposure. It's reality, isn't it, on the news about violent acts in the news. So there's this violent concept within society, and it's a real violence that we're talking about, and then the reporting of the real violence and exposure to that reporting of the real violence. So that's an aspect. I mean, another real violent situation a child might be exposed to that people just sort of are blasé about might be football violence, might be violent acts within the crowd or even on the pitch. And the child is exposed, a young adult growing up is regularly exposed to a sort of a violent act in their social environment. So there's violence in the world. There's also the really other, strong end of that spectrum where people do these horrible, despicable, seemingly mindless violent acts. And then there's the organised violence of war and conflict, the organised violence of the police in conflict with sometimes organised violence of protesters. That's all going on in our world at the moment, isn't there? All that sort of stuff. So violence, that's a context. But my question is, and I do question this, because there is a study that proves, there's a study that states and shows evidence for the idea that instead of computer games causing kids to be violent, which is a worry, that could be a hypothesis, you play a violent game, you end up being violent in real life. The study actually suggests that if people are violent in themselves, maybe because of these other social factors, maybe because of upbringing, learning, observance, maybe they've got violent tendencies themselves, they will be drawn towards a violent video game or pastime. So there's that aspect of it which the study suggests is it's not the game makes the people violent, it's that the people are violent so they like playing the game. So with that in mind, people talk about violence, they talk about game violence and violence in media, and I am the media, I am here being the media. They talk about that violence as being dangerous and damaging. Some people, there's an argument for that. There's certainly age limits on things. We all grew up watching certain levels of violence. I grew up watching cartoons, watching computer games, films, maybe at an earlier age than I should have done. But then also, like I said, being exposed to a fight in the pub or a parental dispute at a younger age than I should have been, or even ever should have. Maybe no one needs to be exposed to a fight in the pub or a parental dispute. I don't know. Maybe you don't need to ever. But my experience of violence is that complete spectrum, like I just described. I'm not a violent person, so I don't inflict violence on others. But I did become a fencer, which is a martial art. So the sport itself has violence inbuilt within it, and it was a great vent for my aggressive tendency, my anger. Other forms of vent for that came in the form of music, of rock music, of punk ethos. But I wouldn't go out and be violent to people. I wouldn't be a bully, and I certainly wouldn't be a menace or a criminal in that aspect. I wouldn't go out and start a fight. In fact, if I saw fighting in the general public, if I had to be involved in a fight, very quickly it would make me feel upset. Quite happy to say that. If I ever was in a fight, afterwards it would make me want to cry. So I didn't go out and seek that violence. That violence had made an impact on me as a young person. I didn't enjoy it. But when I say that violence, I mean the real world violence. I don't remember playing a computer game, because I played lots of computer games when I was young before they thought, maybe we shouldn't do it. When Grand Theft Auto, before they knew what it was, when it was top-down 2D PlayStation, when I was playing Grand Theft Auto, when these conversations were being had and these age limits were being assessed and put on. Same with film media. I saw a lot of horror movies when I was younger than the age limit even than it suggested. Cultural things like Stanley Kubrick's Clockwork Orange caused a lot of farrago when they first came out. Did they cause violence in society? Was violence endemic in society? I grew up in that. So Squid Game recently came out, and it caused a bit of a sensation in our country when young people were emulating some of the games in the playground. Obviously not murdering each other. They weren't murdering each other. They were just emulating the games in the playground. And of course they are playground games, and you get knocked out. Oh, you're it. Oh, you're out. So it makes sense that young people would latch onto that aspect of it. Whether they understood the connotations, the context of the violence, whether the violence was cartoon, whether a young person watching Squid Game would be damaged by the cartoon nature or the realistic nature of the violence, I don't know. I certainly have seen similar media as I was growing up, and I don't feel it turned me into a psychopath. But my personal feeling, we will talk about this afterwards, but my personal feeling is exposure to violence through the media, especially through context, as in a computer game, a film with a story. The violence in films is often scary when you're young. It should be. It's violence. So that's part of the media film. It's part of the art that they've created. The Shining used to scare the chuff out of me, and the thing that was the most scary bit in the Shining, I think it was the most scary bit, was obviously Jack Nicholson being physically violent. So there's all that ghosty bit, isn't there? There's all that ghosty bit, but the reality of the violence was raw and scary, wasn't it? But it didn't turn me into a violent person. It gave me a perspective and a feeling about violence. So that's my feeling. I don't think that we should worry too much. We should be careful, of course, but we shouldn't worry too much about how young people are exposed to violence in context in this way. But the worry I have is that young people are exposed to violence in the reality without context quite often, without somebody sitting them down and saying, okay, so, your mummy and daddy had an argument, and I mean, I'm not talking about my personal situation here, I'm talking generally, but, your mummy had an argument and somebody threw something, and this is, people shouldn't behave like this, and their temper needs to, and they're going to sort this. People they don't even sort these problems out. They live like that, don't they? They live like that with their tempers and their fractures. So it gets passed on for generations. I don't know. So I think there's more danger in that. And I also know, and I'm not going to go on about it now, I must get it out again for the edit, but I always go on about this documentary series called The Men Who Made Us Spend. It's a really good documentary series by a guy called Jacques Peretti, and he, in 3 episodes, looked at how the marketing industry was created around the push to consume products, the push to promote the consumption of products. It happened post-war. It happened because of a boom in the economy. They wanted, to create a boom in the economies because they'd put a lot into this war effort, and it had decimated certain aspects of certain economies. And it was an alternative to communism, so it was important that capitalism was the most successful of the two systems. It was important politically for a lot of people. So a lot of reasons why capitalism and the consumption of products was promoted. And we got to the point today, like, long story short, there's a 3-series documentary that really looks at the people who put their time and effort into making these things happen. Long story short, nowadays, when they're selling products to kids, they're not just doing a cartoon to try and sell. It used to be you make a cartoon and it's got the character in it and it's like a half-hour long advert, and now you're selling a lunchbox, and now you're selling a figure, and you get that, the merchandise, you get that. Some people aren't even against that as a principle. I think it's a bit cheeky to be psychologically manipulating a child to want to buy more crap that they don't need, ask their parents to get. Anyway, I don't like that mechanism. I think that's a bit evil, to psychologically manipulate a child. And then on top of that, now though, they go like extra layers. So part of this documentary, it taught me, it educated me to the inner workings of some of these things. That Peppa Pig, what they did with Peppa Pig was they tested 2-year-olds, toddlers, and the psychological impact of Peppa Pig on the toddlers, and then tweaked Peppa Pig to make it more psychologically impactful. And the idea was that they would make Peppa Pig, so when you're selling a product to someone, you see this character and you think, oh, I'm a bit like them, me and them have got something in common, so I'll buy into what they're saying, I trust them. That's the kind of adult way of, talking to an adult in an advert in a way. Or maybe you aspire to be like the people on the advert, you want to be like them, so you might want to buy the things that, whatever reasons, there were the people that might want to scare you into buying the product, whatever reasons. Peppa Pig does something different and very clever, but kind of dangerous, is that they realise that as you're growing from the age of 0 to 2 to 3, you're actually forming your ideas about your identity. You've got a very plastic blank canvas almost, and your ideas are being formed, you're being taught, you learn, I am an individual, I am me, these are my parents, this is my fruit bowl, that's my socky, that's my ducky, I'm me. You learn this concept of identity, and what makes you me is a vague concept. Am I me because I'm English? Am I me because I'm male? Am I me because I like football? Am I me because of the things I like to eat or the things I like to say? Which part of me is me? Identity is a complex psychological I want to say tapestry, but I also wanted to say it like a painting, like an oil painting. It's got lots of threads. There's lots of reasons and things and drives, and they all make, and you can remove them all, and then what are you without them? Am I my hat? Am I the way I look? What if I changed the way I look? What if I was changed forcibly by disfiguration? Would I? Of course, I'm still me. What if, these concepts of identity get deep when you look into preservation of life through artificial intelligence, through, or even people who suffer with debilitating diseases. Which part of you is you? Usually people think of it as the mind or the soul that is the main bit. And what part of your mind, can you hold out in front of someone and draw a picture of? Which part of your passionate, like some people think that for example, I'm British, so I could say, I'm British, me and Britain, I'm a British citizen, and this country of mine and my country, and I'm British. But actually the land itself doesn't care anything about me and doesn't know any concept of Britain. It's just grass and soil, and someone drew a line around it and said Britain, and because I was born here, it's me now, and the other people that were born here, they look quite different to me and do things differently to me. It's them as well. So which part of it is what? Maybe it's worth abandoning the concept of Britishness and just being human. I don't know. It's all complex, isn't it? And what Peppa Pig is doing is getting right in there at that stage, deliberately. Right? I would go on about this a few times, but I'm setting context for what we're about to do and hopefully talk about later. Is they get right in there at that stage, and they make children think, not I am like Peppa Pig, I like Peppa Pig, but they actually make children think, I am Peppa Pig, that Peppa Pig and me are in some way like interconnected in our identities, because they get in at that formative stage when the concepts of identity are being formed. Of course, you won't really hear an older child say, oh, hi, my name is Peppa, I am. But you might hear a 2-year-old getting confused about Peppa likes it, so I like it. Or Peppa doesn't like it, so I don't like it. Or, those sort of concepts. And adults might think, well, this is okay because, Peppa's going to help meet their vegetables. Peppa's going to be an educational tool. So Peppa's going to school. Peppa's being a good pig. Why don't you be a good pig? Well, you're not a pig. You're an adult. You're growing into a young adult. You're not a pig. And Peppa's not there for that. Peppa's there so that you buy an expensive lunchbox and a duvet set and a toothbrush with all Peppa Pig written on it. Peppa's not there for any reason that it might benefit the child, is only so it makes it so to the extent that the parents will make the choice to sit the child in front of it. Peppa's there to sell the child concepts that manipulate their identity so that they are a pliable consumer on into later life, which is horrible. So I would say that Peppa Pig is much worse than Squid Game. Squid Game is not designed to psychologically damage a child, whereas Peppa Pig is designed to psychologically damage a child. So I would say Peppa Pig is worse than Squid Game. I'd also say that, that computer games like the one we're about to play are worse. Sorry, that Peppa Pig is worse than these sort of computer games. That choosing the wrong kind of media for your child is as bad as exposing them to Squid Game without thinking. If you'd be clear and careful, Squid Game is not for my child, then it would seem strange to just be like, whatever's on the CBeebies, they like the Peppa Pig, they like this, put it in front of them, you go. Why are you not looking deeply? You're probably not looking deeply into Squid Game, are you? You're probably just seeing the violence and saying it's bad, that's it, no kids. It's easy for you to do that. If you had to look deeply into the pieces of media that were being produced, why they're being produced, and whether that's appropriate for your child, then, that's an extra job of parenting, isn't it? And you're too busy cooking the beans and, smoking the fags. So, being a bit mean there, but you know what I mean. Parenting is a difficult job and it takes a lot. And being able to sit your child in front of a program they like is a godsend, isn't it? It gives you an extra 10 minutes, 5 minutes to get something done that you need to do. But thinking carefully about what that programming is important. And if you're going to diss Squid Game, and if you're going to have a big foray go on Twitter and say, oh, kids can't watch Squid Game on Twitter. Oh, you go, oh, it's in the news. Oh, it's Squid Game. Oh, my kids watched it. Oh, aren't you bad? And then people are saying, oh, they're bad parents because they let their kids watch Squid Game. It's the bad parents. Oh, God, some finger pointing going on now. You are even a bad parent because you let your kids watch the Squid Game. And I wouldn't let my kids do that. They're watching Peppa Pig. You know, there's these weird double standards to me. So we're going to play a game now. With that introduction, are games bad for kids? You know, is violence in computer games bad for kids? At what age level do you put the bars? I'm sure, personally, even though I've said I don't care, let them see what they want, let them exposed to anything, I wouldn't put this in front of them. If they developed an interest in something and found this sort of media themselves, I would watch it with them and discuss it. At a certain age of young adolescent, I suppose between 8 and 10, probably going up 10 onwards, I would just say everything is fair game, because we can discuss it as grown-ups. I know that a 10-year-old is not a grown-up, but they can have much more concept of context and understanding of the real world, can't they? So, but before then, yeah, I would absolutely be careful about exposing young children to excessively visceral imagery, in the same way as I wouldn't want my young child... I haven't got a child. I'd like to have one day, or two. But I wouldn't want my young child being exposed to a bullfight, or fishing a fish out of the water and trying to pull its mouth off with the hook. Or I wouldn't want my young child being exposed to a fight in the schoolyard where one kid that's bigger bullies another kid and, you know, makes them bleed through punching their face. I wouldn't want my child to be exposed to most of the stuff on EastEnders and Coronation Street, for that matter, if I didn't have to, because it's not going to be beneficial to see the yelling and the shouting and the, you know, the bitterness and the mean and the vindictiveness and the bile and the violence. You know, I wouldn't want that. Probably wouldn't want my child to be exposed to footballers spitting on the floor and elbowing each other in the back of the head instead of being good sportsmen. But you can't have everything. But what you can do is be careful about the media, can't you? So that one's an easy slam. Don't have to do any more thinking than that. You're a good parent, you are. You're a good... Don't blame me because I said about Peppa Pig. They already hate me now. They haven't listened this far into it. They're all gone now. We're 37... And the people that are on Twitch, we're 37 minutes in. We haven't got any gameplay yet, so they're all gone. Let's go Nintendo Switch. And the reason I've got the music in the background is because this Yabatanien doesn't have music. It will tell you, look, which game do you want to play? I don't know. They're both the same to me, aren't they? But we'll choose the first one. Continue or start. We're going to start a new game. Explore and escape the mansion. Check the game controls. No, I remember them, I hope, because I had a little brief look beforehand so I didn't have to mess you about too much. Just a 40-minute intro. So here we are. This is the game. It's got no music. Where was the gore? I thought it was supposed to give me a gore warning. That's why I wanted to start it again. I opened it and closed it and started a new one. It's supposed to give you a gore warning and say, this is a gory game and there's no music. But it didn't do that for us. So I feel like I need to do it one more time just because I need it for the edit. I certainly need that warning for the edit. So let's go one more time. It'll do the warning this time, won't it? Please. Please. I'll hide. I'm not really hiding. Let's hope it does the warning. I'm putting you through it now, and I'm really... Yes, this game contains... Oh, we did it before. Look, main story has no music, only sound effects. This game contains graphic description. There we go. Okay, we got the warning. So it hasn't said no kids. It's just said it's got these depictions. But it's pixel art. It's pixel art. So how can you... You know, what can you possibly... How bad can it get in pixel art form that you wouldn't let a child see it? It's only pixels arranged in a very basic manner, but there are certain things, certainly, you know, pornographic imagery you wouldn't want them to see, but how pornographic can it get as pixel art? Isn't that a weird question, but an interesting one before we even get any further? What would you draw? Draw something on paint that you know, that's too much for children to see. And think about the context and reasons why. It would have to be, you know, pretty bad, wouldn't it? It'd have to be pretty bad. There's a few things, I'm not even going to mention them, but there are 3 things that are pretty bad that you wouldn't want children to see. But drawn in pixel art, they'd lose some of their edge, wouldn't they? But then the child would do the rest in its imagination, wouldn't it? So that would be bad. So it would be the concept that was bad, and the pixel art isn't actually that important. In fact, you could draw it with, like I said, on PC Paint or with a pen and pencil. and show a child something really horrible, and then the child's thinking about that, or what's that man doing, that stick man, bear in mind, a stick man now, just in pencil, what's that stick man doing to that, you fill in the sentence, and then that's bad, isn't it? I'm not saying anything bad, this doesn't have to be edited for kids, because it's you fill in the sentence, so it's up to you what you've got in your brain. Yeah, kids are innocent. So if you showed them something horrible, then if they didn't understand what it was, you'd have to explain it. That's you explaining the concept. That's what's horrible. If the picture's good enough to explain the concept, I mean, I remember some concepts when I was a kid that I couldn't even understand. I'm trying to think of one that's relatively safe for work. A concept I couldn't understand as a child. Oh, here's a really funny and quite novel example. Is when my parents divorced, my mom said that my dad had gone off with a dog. She didn't say it to me, she said it to her friends. She talked about this woman, but she wouldn't say the woman's name, she'd say the dog. And I remember thinking, isn't it sad that my dad's got a dog? Because I wanted a dog. I've got one now, I've got a little doggy. But I wanted a dog, and Dad wanted a dog more than he wanted us. Like, he's gone off with a dog. And I thought they meant literal dog, because I didn't have the concept, I didn't have the context to analogize that people referred to a woman as a dog if they thought she was unattractive or were being mean to them. And so, I mean, this is just a long time ago, but it's an example, isn't it? So certain concept, understanding the concept of infidelity and I suppose some other mean context about the insulting the woman, none of that, all that went over my head, even though I was exposed to the very words and concepts by listening to my mum talk about them. It went over my head. So it's about understanding context, and that's why I guess it's hard for children to, some things must be really hard for them to understand if they see them without context, and that can be even more traumatic, I suppose. But also, in a way, if you don't know what it is you're being worried by, then you're not worried by it in another way. So the stickman drawing with no context might be washed over the head of some children and then not actually damage them in any way. The more clear, like on Squid Game, the more clear depictions of violence, again, we've got computer games where we shoot people. You've got James Bond shooting people. You've got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles running around with swords and nunchuckers, and all the baddies shoot lasers and shoot people. So the fact that some people get shot, pop, they're dead, that I don't think is even that. I mean, I think the concept, the deeper concept that it's actual violence and that's a real tragedy because someone has been shot in a horrible and meaningless way. Like the meaninglessness, the lack of value of human life would be kind of lost on a child, in the same way that when I watch Tom and Jerry and whatever Wile E. Coyote goes off the mountain, I'm not like, oh, poor Foxy. Oh, shouldn't have said that, my dog. I'm not like, poorly Wile E. Coyote, poor, him. Like, the value of cartoon, like the value, and it's, in Squid Game, it's kind of cartoony, isn't it? It's kind of cartoony. It's kind of contextualized in that way. Bright lights and funny games. So I don't know. There is a depiction of a human brain in Squid Game. There's a depiction after they fall off one of the... I don't want to do too many spoilers, but by now, chuff the spoilers. It's up to you. They fall off a glass walkway, and it deliberately shows you quite a graphic image of a brain bashed out of a skull. And that was a bit raw. But then again, it is a very raw depiction of it. It was a very raw and unnecessarily, violent depiction of it. But for a child to know that there's a brain in the head and that their head is fracturable is just a biological fact. So you didn't see, the brain popping out, someone smashing it. You saw them off the thing. You realised they're hurt because they've fallen all that way. And then you see this quite gruesome, real depiction of that violence. I remember when I was a kid and I saw a baby bird falling from the nest, dead on the floor. I remember it was so it was underformed, and so its skin, you could see through its skin to its eyes, and it was kind of grotesque. It was the reality of nature. I remember watching animals on nature programs, and thinking, oh, I hope they get away. I hope the lion doesn't catch them. So occasional flashes of the grotesque truth of nature, of our fragile biology. Again, I don't know how bad that is compared to, well, not compared to anything, just how bad that is. So anyway, this game, I've really built it up now. 45 minutes, really built it up. If you're watching on YouTube, you can skip on. Bless you. Tip me at coffee.com/Ganji. Get over there, get set up on that. It's a good way to do it. I get all the money. Yay. I'm not money hungry, but it really helps. So what we're going to do now, look, we're at this mansion. There's these girls, and there's going to be some gruesome. So yeah, I'll take the key. I'll have that. Wonder if I move that one. Step 2, it's saying. These are steps that I'm making. Done 2 steps. Are those bricks there. Can I pick those up? No? Okay. I guess I'm just going to use the key on the door. Yep, step 3. Okay, and I can go left, right, or straight on. Should we just go straight on? See what happens. Okay, we're inside. And there's a lift and a flower. Can't pick that up. Let's go right. Some sort of, what's that? Oh, there's a key. It's in an ice block. Do I want to take an ice block and carry it around? I suppose it'll thaw the key out, maybe. Or should I just unplug that and it will thaw the key out? I'll unplug that and we'll just come back to that, because hopefully it will thaw out. Don't know what that is. What about that door? Okay, this is a door and we're in here. This is some sort of machine. It's got wires going into it, blue and thingy, don't know what that is. And over here we've got something suspended on a rope above a gold bath. It looks like something can fill this bath. There's a light. A little blue light there. Step 7, look, the steps are going on. I don't know what that means. Turn the blue light on. Pink, blue, oh look, different colours. Okay, so I don't know what the different colours signify. What if I press this button? Will it fill with water? No. Let's turn it on to blue. I'm trying to press that button, fill with water. Just thought it might help. What about that? Can I touch that? No. Okay. It's not so gruesome at the moment, is it? It's just, I wonder what this is. Can't touch anything there. No. Can't do anything with that. Let's go through back here. Wonder if that's thawed out yet. No. I'll leave the door open, chuff it. See the other end. Oh, we switched that to blue as well, because why not? Call someone on the phone. Strange. Okie doke. Here's the lift. So let's just go. What do you want to do? Top down or 1, 2, 3? Let's go top down. 4th floor, top down, step 14. I don't know what the steps mean. I don't know what any of this stuff at the top there. X. What's X? Don't know what that means. There's a screwdriver. I'll have that. Yeah. Oh, it goes up even higher. Well, this is the roof. Okay. On the roof, we've got stairs. A battery. Okay, we'll take it. Why not? Some bloody food. Oh, here's our first person. What can we do? We just want to rescue her then. I could lever those things. I don't know if I want to pull a lever yet. Just messing with some levers here. Should I pull the lever? Go on then. Oh, hello. Okay, that's bad. And I can't do anything. If I pull this, is it going to let it out? No, okay. Okay, that's kind of bad. I've got no way of unlocking her from that, have I? I'm just going to check my controls just to make sure that... I think I know the controls, I'm guessing. The present meter there, X has gone up to 2. I don't know what's going on here. Hope they'll be alright for a bit. I need to find a way of breaking them off. Should we go across this little ladder thing? Okay. Don't know what this is. We'll go down here. Oh, look. No, up. I want those. Look, bolt cutters. Can I get them? Some sort of balcony. Maybe I have to go onto the balcony from a different position. Here's a telephone. What's that? I don't know. Keep going down. Oh, this looks gruesome. Some sort of forceps. We'll have them. Some sort of dentist chair. That torture device. And down here, there's the bolt cutters, but they've gone. They're on the balcony. Fair enough. Uh-oh. Buttons. Maybe I shouldn't be pressing those buttons. Or maybe I should. I mean, to what end? 5. No bolt cutters. Can I make all the numbers? No, I can't. 8. No bolt cutters. I'll just leave that. The implication here is they failed the eye test on the 4th one, and so some punishment was meted out with the forceps. There's another telephone. I don't know if it's any use. Oh, I can take it. Go on then. I'm filling up my space though now. I want those bolt cutters. We'll have to find a way of getting to them. That sounded bad. That sounded like the zombie had escaped. I bet the zombies escaped. That was my fault though, wasn't it? Uh-oh. I need those bolt cutters quick. I think you're in trouble, love. To be honest, I think you're in trouble. I mean, I'm just going to do my best. We're at step 42. I wonder if that matters. I've got a battery and a screwdriver. I mean, things could be worse. Okay, that's not happening. Oh, there's the zombie, look. But oh, now I can go in there, look. I can't carry any more items. Alright, well, I'll just... Can I drop that? That was a tip that I just got. How'd you drop an item? Because I want that. I can take that upstairs. Little chuffer. Alright, let's go and see if we can use an item somewhere and do it that way. That sounds like that zombie's getting out. There's a fan. Uh-oh. You want to come out of there? Why can't I just rescue you? Can I unplug that? No. Well, if I turn it on, you'll be in trouble. I'm not going to do that. No! Okay. This to get me some bolt cutters. No. What is this? Oh, hello, you. Okay. I think she was holding something that maybe she was holding on to. Oh, I can't carry any more items. Yeah. We've chuffed this right up. Oh, I can unscrew that. Nice. Screwdriver came in handy then. And now it's gone. So if you use an item, it's gone. Right. Vermilion key, we'll have that. Oh, no, because I could have picked up the other thing. Now I've got the vermilion key. Brilliant. I can't carry any more items. I'm just going to find out if you can put things down. I'm going to use the internet. Let's get another window. The internet. And I'm playing... Oh, God, now I've got to remember the name of it. It's like Yabatanien. How to drop items. Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch. How do I drop items in Fortnite? No. There's lots of this, but not my exact question. Okay. Back to it, back to the grind. I don't know how to drop items, so that's, you know, an issue. And we haven't seen any violence yet either, have we? That's the main thing that we're going to be talking about. We haven't seen any violence. Come on, let me drop an item. Let me at least pop the phone down. Menu, save load, ending list volume, cursor speed English, return to title screen. There's a present. If there was some kind of board, it might be able to stop the saw. Oh, there's a board over there. So we need to scroll. We need to get up there, get that board. Whoops. Now it is pixel art, isn't it? It is pixel art. Isn't it? It is pixel art, so it's not like that grotesque. You know what it's supposed to be. But it's not, you know, it's quite basic. I don't think that's that bad. I don't know. I obviously, I wouldn't just be like, here little Timmy. It's not that bad though. It's a bit bad the way you can sort of linger on it like this, and there's no, you know, in a computer game, if you saw it briefly and it was gone, it might be a bit like, whoa, but then it's gone. But here, you can linger on it. You tell me. I hope it's not against terms of service. It's only a computer game, chuffing out. Right, we'll try second floor. We're just getting a feel for this place. Maybe we'll have to come back and help them another time. It's a projector, so that's useless. No, that's useless. This is... Ooh. She's tied on there. That's bad. I imagine we want to fill up the swimming pool below. And then we can release her, can't we, into the swimming pool. We certainly don't want to turn that on, because it's just going to crank and chuff her up. And I don't have any way of cutting that, do I? So that's bad. Who set this up? There's a light, and it's shining down over there, and there's a chain. Oh, I can move the... That's pretty. There must be something outside. I mean, we saved one, so, you know, we're doing alright, considering. It's a bit like Saw, isn't it? It's a bit like the film Saw. Okay, we'll leave that there, then. You kind of puzzle your way through it. It's like a puzzle game. Some flowers. Seem to be useless. Another door. Come to that in a minute. Got no idea what that is. There's a little step. Maybe I'll require a particular item for that. There's a little step. And what's that? Is that a little bug? I can't carry it. So you really got to be careful about picking up the things in the right order, unless you can drop them, which I don't know how to. Oh, that's just take me back in here. Oh no, it's a different room, look. That's a different set of clippers. Is it? Yeah, it's a different room, look. Different set of clippers, look. Electric clippers, maybe. Oh. Outside the little tower. Can't get to that, someone needs to push the ladder down. Bit useless. What's that over there? Nothing. See, I've got the little Zelda music on backing this because it's got no music of its own. And again, context. So now while we're just looking at flowers and messing around, looking at doors, it was quite nice. Little music on in the background. This isn't that bad a game. A couple of people have been killed. Can't get a present there. A couple of people have been killed. It's not that bad though. You know, it's nice. If I put on some really dark music, it'd get even. You know, music's quite a big part of the context, isn't it? Sinister overtones, you know, that sort of thing. See, that hasn't thawed. Got a key for a door, I don't know what it is. Don't know what that does. That doesn't do nothing there. Got these lights, I don't know what they do. Got a phone, don't know how to get rid of that. I like watching speedruns, and I bet if you watch the speedrun this game, it's just like... Go for green, I like green. Can I put the phone down? No. So a little present. The reception telephone is connected to another phone somewhere. Well, it's this one, isn't it? Going up the top. It's a bit of a chuffer, because I've got a solar panel, but I can't get it to the thing because I'm full of stuff. Something with a tip? No. Right. See, I could fix that solar panel. Don't know how it would benefit me really, but it definitely benefit me. It's the sort of game that wants you to do things like that. And then the problem is that to do that, oh no! Cartoon zombie chuffing on a little chuffer. So it's not that bad. Again, the violence, it's not that bad. They've amped up the concept. They've been like, oh, warning, violent warning. But yeah, ain't that bad, is it? Peppa Pig does worse than that. Squid Game's marginally. I mean, he's quite scary little fella, little face. Do you remember when you were little and like something scary that you... My sister told me the other day that she watched Ghostbusters and... when she was little, I watched it recently again when we're grown ups. I like it, but she watched and when she was little, the Stay Puft Man, like because she was little and Mom said you shouldn't watch this, you're too little and all that business. And she was like, no, I'll be all right. And the Stay Puft Man, the Marshmallow Man, that scared her at the end. So you never know what thing might, get in the old noggin when you're a kid and be like that scary thing. But usually there is something, and it could look like that. So that might be the scary element. But it's weird, isn't it, now I've said that there is always something that's scary, even though, you don't have to be exposed to Squid Game or whatever. You can still just get scared when you're a kid of stuff, can't you? It's all about context. And again, that is almost comedic. It's not that bad. But it's a bit of a chuffer, because now we can't save her. But in order to do this, we want the cutters maybe before we do the glass. Because we could have saved her. We just set ourselves a time limit all of a sudden by pressing that thing. Eight, it says. Oh, look. Is that a clue? No, because we did 8 and we got... I suppose I don't know. 8, it says. There's them. I can't pick them up. I never could. This looks like another little balcony. This is where the phone was connected somewhere else. I don't even know what that thing is. Can't pick it up. Maybe I could put the phone on it. Yep, I could put the phone back. So at least I can get rid of that out of my inventory. And then let's go and sort out this solar panel, because at least we know we've got to do that. Inventory. I'm in the wrong room. I said this is just a little game, takes about an hour and a half. You learn it quite quick and then you're done. But for me, it's going to take hours. I can feel it already. It's not a one-stream thing. But that's cool, because it'll give us time to develop our thoughts, to get people in to have a chat about violence in computer games, Squid Game, and society. Shouldn't that work now? 1, 2 it says. I don't know about 3, but 2. That should be good now, shouldn't it? Don't know how that helps. Still can't open that. But that's good. I mean, I don't know what those are for. Green. Have green. Why not? This is where we've already messed up. Sorry. Could have got a plank to sort you out if we could have... Can I do that? Oh, I have to do the lever and then I have to climb down and I can go the other way. Okay. So let's just have a look at that. Lever. And it would be here, and then it would be through this door, wouldn't it? Which is locked. Down 8. Where I want those things, I can't get to them. Bad things have happened. There's the pliers. I've set it to 8. There's no pliers there. I think they originally, are stored there, maybe. These buttons seem to do nothing. I had it on 8. There's another little thing there. Look, it's like a 0, that one. Don't know if it means anything. Down the stairs again. We'll go level 2. Projector. Nothing important there, is there, that we can do? This is this room that will yank her to bits, so we don't want to do that. And if I just do that switch, it's tempting, isn't it? Just do that switch and then she's in the chuff. So I'm not doing that. Unless I can... Oh! I did that by mistake. Nothing happened. So it's not what I thought it was. That's weird though, that nothing happened. Don't know what the use of my... I've got some items and I don't know how useful they are. I've got a battery. Maybe the battery goes on the solar paneling as well. Because it didn't... I think what was weird about the solar paneling was that it didn't fully charge. Look, 3. Can I do this with it, do you think? No. Maybe 2 things are having power and 1 thing's not. It's got red wires. There's something to learn. Doesn't make sense to me. Got the fan going, the window open. So that's of some benefit. Got the sun, got the lights, and I can either have them high up or down low. We had them down low before, so now I have them high up. They're also attached to red. That key is not thawed. It's in an ice block. Do I want to take it? I don't know of any way of thawing it, and I don't know what it... Maybe I've put this battery in here. Oh! Okay, there's one thing. I need another one the other way around, look. Can I just put the same battery in this one? Yeah, but it's the wrong way around. This will not dispense. Is that a button? I don't seem to be able to press it. I'm sure we want to get water in there so that she doesn't fall to her death, so that she falls to a nice splashy water. I've got a battery and I've put it in backwards because I just think, mayhem. I've also got an ice block and a key, and they both seem to be useless, which is strange because usually you'd think a key. Coloured light things. Oh, hang on, look. It's got a little picture on it. It's got like a little family tree sort of symbol that seems to be broken. Hello, Headhunter. It's nice to see you again. We're playing. No, I have to press this button so I can see it. Yabatanien. Yabatanien. We're playing this, and we're talking in context. It's supposed to be quite a grotesque game with lots of violence. And we're talking about violence, how bad violence is for kids, whether it is bad for kids, whether cartoon violence is bad for kids, whether pixel art violence is bad for kids, whether Squid Game is bad for kids, and whether all of that is bad for kids. And Peppa Pig gets off scot-free, whereas I think Peppa Pig's quite bad for kids. And this is all kind of all right, really. They did a study. So keep that in mind as we, The problem is, this is not that violent a game. Really, it's actually a puzzle game. And it's one of these games where you pick up screwdriver, use screwdriver to attack cat or whatever. And you can't, unless you know, you don't know. And I'm sure something is supposed to... I can't for the life of me work out what's supposed to go where and for what. I've already murdered a couple of these poor unfortunates. And... that's just the way it seems to be going. You see, there's a bit of violence. This was my fault. I did this lever and it set the thing off. And I have to be quick and get a plank of wood, but I wasn't quick enough. And I didn't have enough inventory space. But the plank of wood is in a different room, and I've forgotten how to get there now. Yeah, where's my plank of wood room? That's weird, isn't it? Right, we're going back to square one. We're going outside. On this side, we've got this thing, which I don't know what that is, and how to interact with it. Don't know what it is. How to interact with it. Nothing seems to interact. I can pick up this now. I've got a spare spot. Oh, it's a tennis ball. Okay. Can we use that to save somebody? Wonder what we could do with the tennis ball. So we've got a tennis ball. This is like a downstairs room with a tower, and if you press these buttons again, it makes these shapes change, but to what purpose? I don't know. There's a little door off the tower. Oh, look! That's new. Those lights on the side of the tower are new. Okay. They're shining there because I shone that other... I moved that light outside, indoors. I moved a light and it shone through the stained glass. And now that is shining on there. And it's saying... What is it saying? Blue... I suppose they're the floors, are they? So I want blue, yellow on the bottom floor. Top floor is green, bottom floor is fuchsia. Should we just go and try that? Blue, yellow. So you say your short-term memory gets damaged when you... what's that thing I do that I can't remember? But I'm good at it. Miss the floor, and then this one's going to be fuchsia. Oh, I can't go through there. That one's green. So we've got them all correct, apart from we need to go through a door that we can't get to. And if I just pop down to... If I pop up to the top, and we go to the zombie room. Oh, no, that's bad. But I wondered if the tennis ball could be used on this here. Right. So she's time limited on that. And look, there's more of those squares there, but they're in a... I don't know what that means on top there. So now our other option is we go down this pipe, trying to get to a room we can't access. Come out the bottom. I didn't realise you could get out the bottom. Oh, chuff. I don't like the look of that. Why would you have a lever on a gravestone? More flowers. Can't do anything with them. Just the other side of the... Okay, let's pull the lever. No dice. Can't interact with this in any way. Okay, that's strange. Back in the tower, up the tower. We want those clippers, but we can't get them. That's the zombie room. We can't seem to get through that door for some reason. We've been in another room that I can't seem to find now for some reason. There's her, there's this. Oh yeah, up here. Now we can move. Oh, I can't. I've got too many items. This is where the plank is that we need. And we need to come in here without many items. We need a screwdriver to get that off to get a secret key. I'm going to try and just get rid of an item. The other option is to see what happens if I... This, I'm going to... See, that made those squares, didn't it? So I'm going to see if it makes different squares if I move it to that one. See if that tells us anything new. Still got no information for the projector. And that's where we got this frozen key from, so I'm just going to put it back there for now. Ice block. We've clearly got a key in it. And I've unplugged it, so I don't know why it's not thawed. Maybe that's it's not, is it? That's got to be a fridge. So maybe we can put the battery, take the battery, and put the battery in the right way round. Might get some power to blue. Maybe this is what this needs. Don't know. So I'll change the battery around now anyway. And now I've got an inventory slot so I can go and... Sorry. I could have picked that up and saved it with it, but it's too late now, so I don't want to pick that up now. I want to open that. It's a bolt. Okay, I'll take that. Can't. Maybe because I can't use one of these items with that, because I was too late. Maybe I'm stuck carrying an item I don't want to carry now. But now I can open that door. Oh, I see. So what I can do is I can go down. I can turn this off, or at least change the direction of the trap, and I'm through. I'm through, but this poor unfortunate has been cut in half with a big chopper, which I obviously dropped from upstairs. And I should remember this. This is going to be fuchsia, I believe. There's another phone space. So do I need to pick up that other phone and bring it here? Possibly. For what reason? Can't tell. I think I've done all my lights the right colour, so does that mean the bath will work? Nope. Key don't work with the bath. Tennis ball don't work with the bath. That don't work with the bath. The bolt don't work with the bath. Need a way of putting things down. Let's check that we've got those right. We had blue, yellow, and then fuchsia green. That's disappeared now, you see. It's changed. Oh, hello. I didn't see this before. What's that? A box of matches. I can't carry them. You're stood on the ice block, so you do not want that heater on, otherwise you're chuffed. What's the odds that if I press that it's going to go on? Nothing happening. That might be a keyhole for a red key though. No. Okay. What about for one of those? No. Okay. Just pop downstairs then. Oh, the matches will obviously start that, won't they? I mean, I'm committing them. They're going to have problems if I do that. A drawbridge, but it's not. It's not extended. That's the window that we've done with the fan, isn't it? That's the window with the fan. We've opened the window with the fan, so it's now blowing air up into here, which maybe will keep them cool if we start the fire, and we can open that and get out there, maybe. Very strange. The lights have changed, they're not on anymore, so I'm going to go and put those lights back on. Look, you see this brickwork patterning on these things? It's got like sort of brickwork patterning, but it almost looks like a family tree, the way that pattern is. That appears to me to look similar to this sort of thing. I might be wrong. Maybe there's nothing in that, maybe that's just a red herring. Or not even a red herring, maybe it's just a, you know, a pattern that I'm reading into. We certainly used a key on that. That's a keyhole. That's not a keyhole. That looks like eyes, like goggles. Up here, that's a keyhole. And I've got a key, but he won't let me in. I'm going to go and change the lights because I know this is right. That shows me this pattern of lights, and they're the same colours as the chuffing blocks that we got that we can light up. And those blocks that we can light up, there's two of them on the first floor, one on the left hand side and one on the right. There's one on the top left and there's one on the third floor on the far right. And I've got them coloured, set to those things. I've got blue, yellow, fuchsia green. What to what end? Blue, yellow. And we know the other ones are fuchsia and green, I've done that. But to what end, I don't know. From the top again. See, there's green. It didn't make a difference when I did the zombie thing. It was, you can get through here. She's chopped, but there's the plank. Not picking anything up from here. Oh! Can't carry anything else. Don't even know what that is. It looks like a mirror. Ugh. Power's gone down, look. That's strange, isn't it? I wonder what that means. The lights have changed. Still can't get to that. I'm going to get to that. Bolt cutters. I'm going to get. It looks like there might be another access point in there from somewhere. There's the phone. Can't pick anything else up. It's got too many items. Let's put that back. Yeah. We'll take the phone because we know that we can put it in a different location, so we can try that. This doesn't yield anything. We can come out here. It takes us to the graveyard, which does nothing. Let's go and pop the phone in the other location since we can. Try things. Oh, it's probably too late for her, isn't it? So this is probably futile, but I'm going to go downstairs and use the phone. There you go. That's how that controls. Step 521 now, so we've done too many steps. I think the whole point is you're supposed to do it in the smallest number of steps possible. We've done too many steps. Right. You got closed. You're getting opened up again because I want to do the tutorial just to see about the... I want to know if you can drop things. That's what I want to know. But I bet you can't. But you have to put it back where it goes. It's actually quite a clever idea. You know, a really small inventory. Really carefully managed. Because if you pick something up, you can't put the chopper down again. Do that. See how you do that? That's nice. I don't know why it's so mean to us. Explore and escape the mansion. Check game controls. Yes. Use the left stick. I've got that. Focus on the object. Press A. Check, action, move, pick up, use item. I mean, that's, yeah. Choose item in slot. Zalala. Yep. There won't happen anything when using a wrong item. Nothing happens. Well, we've got the flowers. Try to use it with the flowers. Maybe we can use something with the flowers. You can carry up to 4 items. Certain items can be brought back to their original position. Use the buttons to move. Moving and doing actions will increase the step counter. So no, you can't drop items. Every time the step counter increases, the surroundings change. So we're like driving time forward with our number of steps. Sorry, not the microphone. We're driving time forward with the number of steps, and there is an inevitability to the consequence, which is that we won't be able to save them unless we do it in a small enough number of steps. With each step, the hint gauge fills. We could have been using that. That would have been handy. Once the hint gauge is filled, press X to get a hint box. We were using that. It was kind of handy. You can only find hint boxes in some of the rooms because there's only certain hints. There are many different endings which depend on each of your actions. Well, most of them involve me chopping it up and getting them all murdered, but there we go. Well, we know the first action is this. Has to be. We've got to do that because we're going in there. Running it all over again. I don't feel like running it all over again. Because I said that my memory was going to be... I said earlier, I can remember where those lights and the thing... Now, I can remember the lights, because I committed that to memory. It was blue, yellow, top left was green, and then top right was fuchsia, but it wasn't top right, it was the next floor down. See, I remembered that. But what order do I get the plank in? What has to happen so that I don't kill that girl before I get the plank? I've forgotten. The thing we didn't get, the most important thing, was the bolt cutters. We didn't get the bolt cutters. We never even found out how to get them. And without the bolt cutters, we kill that girl by moving that lever. So we're not going to do the zombie. Definitely not going to do the zombie. Each step means that, you know, time is ticking. So I've forgotten what floor the woman's on with the plank. And what we do is we pull the lever, we go through the thing. You can't get on the other side because there's a problem. So then you go back out, you go upstairs. That door's bolted. How do we get in that room? Oh yeah, so you pull the lever, you crawl up, you're in that room. You can then get the plank, crawl back down and save her. Just try and do that. See how that goes? On the wrong floor. So that's an extra steps that are going to get everyone killed. Right, I'm going to pull this lever. You're right there. I'm going to pull this lever. Don't you worry there, love. Don't you worry there. So here's another aspect of the violence that I want to talk about. Keep dropping into this and it's going to pee you off because I'm not going to finish the game, but the violence, you know, you can always play this game and finish it yourself if you want, you know. I don't know. That's a good question. That's a totally different random question. Do you expect a streamer to finish the game for you so that you have the satisfaction of seeing the story completed, or is a streamer there to jump off? Like, I watch streams, and there are some streams where they play a game, and I'm like, I want to watch this game because I want to play it, I want to learn about it, I want to see if it's any good. And as soon as I'm like, yeah, I like this, I stop the stream because I want to play it myself. I don't want them to spoil it for me. Don't want spoilers. Squid Game. Don't want spoilers. But I do like to see, you know, the reality of the gameplay of someone playing it to get an idea, a feel for it. There are other games, like I watch Asmon, and I've always watched a lot of Asmon. You know, a long time now I've been watching Asmon. I say always, not always. I used to watch more Wreckfall back in the day, but RIP Wreckfall, R.I.P. Wreckfall. You know, every time you think about it, let's just say it. But yeah, they played World of Warcraft. I mean, I got into Hearthstone, and then I started watching Hearthstone streamers. But Warcraft is in the same world as Hearthstone. Hearthstone's in the same world as Warcraft. What I'm saying is, I watch World of Warcraft streamers and the content they make, and not so much now because they're not making it; they're on to other things. But the point being, I watch them for who they are. So I watch Asmon. I'm never going to play World of Warcraft. I'm not even intending to, but I watch Asmon. So maybe it doesn't matter if I finish this game because World of Warcraft never ends. There's some questions. Put them in the comments. You tell me what you think. Might even clip that. Might even put that on the new Ganji Clips channel. I've got a Ganji Clips channel now. Let's show you that while we're doing it. I've got a... come on, mouse. Where are you, mouse? Where's my mouse? There you are. The big face. And that's the Chuffers. That's our channel. And if you go to the bottom there... Oh, look. Ganji Puka Warrior Media. What's that? Ganji Clips. Ganji Clips. It looks like our channel, but it's just short clips. What, they're between 20 seconds and a minute and a bit long, 2 minutes. They're not shorts, not those annoying shorts, but they're clips, just little short bursts. Other channels have clip channels, we've got one now. So if I do something like I just did, where I make a little thing, I'll put it there. Well, you can click this stream, and then I'll download that clip and put it there. You'll like that. Tipmeoncoffee.com. Get all the money straight to me. Right, look. So the violence, yeah, that's what we're discussing. Let's go back to Nintendo Switch with this jovial Zelda music in the background. I don't know if it's very loud, maybe you can't hear it. I can certainly hear it. Just turn that back up a bit for you. I had it quite quiet because I was talking. The thing about this violence is that it's reset. That girl is no more. She was no more. Now she's more again. You know what I mean? She's not really dead. She's reset. She's just a cartoon depiction of a few pixels. It's not even enough pixels for you to get a facial, like, you know, there's eyes, there's a bit of gauntness about it. You can get a bit of expression in there, but there's not that much, is there? Your imagination has to do the rest of it. I don't know if you noticed the change in the colour tone in the room then. I don't know if you noticed, there was a slight change. The cat down there, you won't be able to see it unless I point this secondary camera. Right then, let's show you. Secondary camera. See that cat down there? Let me make it bigger. Look at that cat down there on the light. What's she doing? She's on the light. That's the light that we use to illuminate and create the... She's having it, look. Licking, preening herself on the light. Got a little doggy down there, he's been good. Having a little sleepy next to Daddy's shoes. He's been good. And we've got Madam there on the light. What's she doing? Right, so this cartoon violence, this video game violence on pixel format, in pixel format, it's repeatable, but it's not inevitable, and it's resettable. So that's really interesting. That's something to think about, isn't it? So what we're going to do now is we're going to press that. There's going to be trouble. She's going to be like, oh no, that's going to come and kill me. And then we're going to go in, up, grab the plank, down, in, stop the machine. But we have to start the machine in order to stop it. Yeah? Because we can't get in that room above there because the door's barred. And the only way to get in there is through this system. So let's do it. Okay, in, up, across. Hello, you. We'll take the plank. Rotten board. Rotten board. We'll take it for now, but we'll also take the bolt, and I think the bolt's the better use. Wooded. I did an extra step there that I didn't want to do. Quick! No? No? It won't work. I thought this was... It said you might need some wood to stop the machine. No? Come on. Please. I feel like I got gypped there. Because we did a tip before, and the tip said you can use some wood to stop the machine. I've got the wood. It's not reached it yet, but I can't stop the machine. Maybe I need to put it there. What? Does not fit. Maybe it would have fit if we got there in time. Have we been carrying around anything else that might fit? Seems reasonable though, doesn't it, that one of those boards of wood might be the item to put there. I mean, she's for the chop now. If I rescue her, then someone else gets the chop. There's the screwdriver. Use that now because it's just there. Might as well. But I'm not going to take the red key. We didn't find a use for it before, and it just feels like a slot in the inventory. I've got rotten wood. I might as well put the rotten wood there. No? Can't put it there? It's a shame. I was going to say there, and then I could smash through it, and then it's gone. But I can put that back, but if I don't want to, I want to be able to use the door, don't I? So, to get the solar panel, I need to do the zombie. We're not doing the zombie until we've got the bolt cutters. The bolt cutters are down here. There's that phone. It's on a chair. But it could be on there. I put it back on there last time. I wonder what significance that has. Look. Bolt cutter seem to belong there. It's quite frustrating. You know those games? Do you remember like Sam and Max? I don't know if you remember Sam and Max or Monkey Island. Monkey Island was like this. There'd be some puzzles that you'd be like, oh, I can definitely do. Like the battery goes in that machine downstairs. I know that one. I've got that. But like you just like you seem like it feels like you're like one step away, but 3 steps away because you can't quite figure out what the chuff is. If I press that lever, is it going to open up here and then that zombie's going to come out, and that's alright, isn't it, actually, because it's not going to kill me. No, okay, I need to get rid of the zombie and then I can get the solar panel. She's chuffed. I buggered that up. The other girl, you have to go through that, so actually you have to go out here. You have to do that. In there. Up a floor. Through the door. Down the thing. Through the thing. Here she is. She's asleep. And there's a telephone thing. Oh, I can call the telephone and wake her up. Okay. Let's try that. So, let's go and get my telephone. I mean, I'm using loads of steps. And the key is to not use loads of steps, isn't it? Or at least once you've set off a trap, you've got a limited number of steps before eventual problem, as we saw with the wood thing. Maybe I just took too many steps, maybe because I accidentally went back and forth. Maybe I just took too many steps. Maybe I could have got the wood in if I was quicker. We know that's got to be open and on. And sorry, love. I've set up the phone. Now I'm going to ring the phone. So she should be awake now, yeah? Yes! K Yagami. Wonder what the K stands for. K Yagami. Rescue her. It's kind of Japanese weeby, isn't it? Not weaving. Weeb's a funny word. I don't know. It's kind of derogatory, isn't it? So I shouldn't use it. Weeby. I think it refers to people from the West who really like Japanese anime influence, like that sort of thing, with the pillow with the picture on it, and you sleep with it. But it doesn't have to be negative, just to enjoy the culture. Like there is a funny context to Japanese culture that I always find really weird. That like they talk about Final Fantasy. This is just another total clip this one's going in the clips. They talk about Final Fantasy a lot and the difference between the Final Fantasy development team, their ethos, the way they work, and the World of Warcraft development team. Well, the World of Warcraft development team are a load of they're kind of geeky at the core. They started out as the core group that got the thing going were kind of geeky white men from Silicon Valley in the West, and educated, university, and like a certain kind of style of people. Maybe now that's more broad. Now the company's bigger, it's more broad. But again, it's a Western company with Western values. And in Japan, you've got a different kind of company from the people that make Final Fantasy, from different kind of values. But there's like differences, and they're like, Japanese, American. Don't forget that not too long ago, 1940s. Was it 1940s? The Japanese launched a unannounced, quite a cheeky little attack, didn't they, on Pearl Harbor with their aeroplanes? Like a war situation was kicking off. I've got to say, my head, or is it just like the shadow of my brow? I'm not trying to be mean against Japan. Like, obviously, this isn't happening now, and Japanese people now are not doing this, and I'm not saying they're bad people at all, but you've got to remember that not so long ago they were on the wrong side of the World War, and they bombed all the American people and did bad things. Not they, but the people at the time did bad things. Yeah, like I'd consider them bad. The killing, all that. Talking about violence, talking about war. We're talking about Japan and culture and violence. They were on the wrong side of the war, weren't they? And then you had all those little islands. I don't know if you've seen the drama series The Pacific or Band of Brothers, but there's quite a lot of violence going on in those little islands, all the little Japanese islands, the South Pacific. And like I say, it didn't happen that long ago. So in our country, in Britain, in the West, in America. America's not my country. It's okay. We'll share all the countries. Anyway, look, in the West, we've got these, our grandfathers told us these stories, our documentaries about the war, and, the films and the war films and the Inglorious Bastards and or whatever. We've got this culture. We came through it. We're the winners, whatever. I don't think that feeds into Blizzard that heavily, but you've got to remember they're doing a game called World of Warcraft, and they grew up in an environment where even as geeks who are into dragons and mythology and computer games and whatever, even as geeks, you're growing up in an environment where your grandfather and people went, like the Vietnam War, and there's a war. War is part of the culture, isn't it? So these themes and ideas, I don't know if they're directly influencing the orcs and the other races, but these themes and ideas, this war, this culture, we see it from our side. It seeps into all of our culture. Over in Japan, at the end of the war, there was a kind of different feeling in Japan at the end of the war. In the UK, we felt very relieved. Hitler and whatever nearly got on our shore, all that sort of business. Very relieved. I'm getting my wars mixed up, probably. Hitler. Was it the same war with Japan? Was Hitler anyway, look, I might be getting my wars. Anyway, we've got these conflicts that have been ongoing, haven't they? But in Japan, what happened? It's not hissing, is it? 1, 2, check. It's the microphone doing that hissing. 1, 2, check, check. Oh no, it's just the sound in the desktop audio, I think. Let me just mute that. Where can I hear that from? Maybe it's the game? Oh no, I feel like I can hear like a hissing noise. Desktop audio seems to just be coming through one channel now. Check Chuffy Chuffy 1, 2. I'm just going to check it on the old Twitch. Check out. Just going to check it on the old Twitch. Check out. I don't know. What can I do? I'll just crack on and, finish streaming in a minute anyway. So, but yeah, so in Japan, you have a different context. And that is that nuclear bombs were dropped on Japan. And the firebombing of Tokyo, I think it was Tokyo, the firebombing, like the city was mainly built of wooden structures and the Americans firebombed it. And whilst they talk about Hiroshima as being the big nuclear bomb that they dropped on Hiroshima, dropped that and ended the war, actually the firebombing of Tokyo, whilst not nuclear, was far more destructive and killed lots more people, I think. I'm not expert, but I think. So you've got to remember that, then you're growing up, like we grew up with our granddad telling us about, the war and during the war and, the old war. So Dad's Army on the telly. America grew up with this celebration, Hollywood golden celebration of the heroes of war, flying their planes and dropping their bombs and, the heroes of war coming back to build this free land. In Japan, like millions of people were killed, thousands of people were killed, and they'd fought on the wrong side. They were on the side of the baddies, essentially. And then what do you tell your children? What kind of society do you go on to have? And their culture was already different, bear in mind, was already different. You've already got different ideas about manners, about speaking up, speaking out, positions in life. We've got quite different ideas about society. I say a lot. Thin walls, being quiet, kneeling down. I don't know, it's quite different, isn't it? It's quite different. So you've already got those ideas. And then you layer on top this maybe sense of cultural guilt. Maybe a sense of cultural guilt or shame. Shame is a important aspect of Japanese culture. I know that certain people feel such shame because of such social constructs that they have to adhere to, and that to bring shame on the family and things is such a negative. So you've got these other things happening. And then you layer those ideas. I'll switch big face because I was going to do this as a clip. I don't know if I will now. You layer those ideas onto the construction of your media. They weren't making films in Japan about like the war heroes, were they? About the bombing. The Hiroshima, the documentaries about Hiroshima have a slightly different edge, don't they? Why did they drop a bomb on us? Well, we were trying to invade and kill them, and we did the Pearl Harbor and all those people, we killed them all, and it was supposed to be a bit of a naughty, they said, because we didn't give them any fair warning, and it was like, a bit underhand. This is our reputation, our global reputation is that we did a bad underhand murdering thing, and then they dropped these bombs on us and destroyed our country. Like, we're lucky in a way that they didn't wipe us out completely. We agreed to stop the war and went into peacetime instead. I mean, it must have had such a brutal effect on the national psyche. So then you talk about, World of Warcraft developers and their gung-ho approach and whatever else. I mean, there's some of the horrible things that came out in that what was it, a criminal investigation, or was it non-criminal? I don't know. In that investigation into Blizzard and all that, all the bad things are the boys club, all that. But you can see why young, affluent, successful Americans aren't hindered with that sense of cultural guilt. So they just go out and pop the champagne and, glory in our culture, winners of wars, freers of people, Whereas when you look at the Japanese culture, it's different. So then when it comes to, oh, we've made a thing in the game and the people who are playing the game aren't very happy, what are you going to do about it, Blizzard? Oh, we don't care, we're arrogant fat Westerners. Just being general here, just being stereotypical in general, but arrogant fat Westerners, fat white men with our sense of entitlement because we're the champions, we're the winners, we're the goodies, Whereas in Japan, when Final Fantasy takes a bit longer to produce, there's this sense of shame and needing to live up to a certain cultural standard, needing to show humility. Think about those concepts in context of a nation that lost a world war and was hit with a nuclear bomb. Decided to surrender in favour of being completely wiped out. So, surrender's better, isn't it, than being completely wiped out? So, yeah, that. Yeah. I think that when I see I love Asmongold and his peers, but when I see them saying isn't it amazing the way the Final Fantasy devs are different than the Blizzard devs, and I think they miss that layer of cultural context, which is so obvious, really. I think they miss that layer. But yeah, so how does that relate to this and violence? I don't know. Oh, Kat, no, please, Shikima, no. Please, the camera's there. Please, no, the camera's there. You're not going out that window. No. I can let you out the front door, but not out the window. And it might as well wait 3 minutes for it to be 9 o'clock and we can finish the stream on a high. Not a terrible... Please don't knock over the camera. So yeah, there's some thoughts to have that I've had. We're not going to finish this game today because I'm too confused by it. There are puzzle solving elements and it does look like fun. It's supposed to be an hour and a half. It was on sale on the Nintendo Switch, so you might want to grab it yourself. I will have a look and probably finish it myself to the point where I don't have to go through the brain power on stream, because you've seen my problem solving. It could take a long time. And if you're not going to pipe up and tell me how to do it, then what we'll do is I'll either do it on stream when I feel like it, or I'll complete it off stream and then show you how to do it on stream, because why not? But I think it's important or interesting. I wanted to look at this game specifically because I thought we could talk contextually. Oh, you cat! No! You have to go out the door. There's a cat flap, you can go out the cat flap. I thought it was interesting. I saw this game, it was on sale. I thought it was interesting, so I got it. And then I thought, we do a stream about it, and we can use that stream as a spark point, a conversation point to discuss video games, violence, and culture. And in context as well, because it's not Korean, it's Japanese, but in context as well, to bring in a bit of that Squid Game flavour, which is so popular at the moment, and have a little chat about it. So now I've introduced you to the game, the concepts. Maybe you can have your little think. Leave it in the comments. Or bring it up on the next stream. Maybe I'll write a little thing. Maybe I won't. Who knows? At the moment, things are a bit juggling a few things. But this is what's it called? Yabatanien. Oh, I forgot to change. What an idiot! I forgot to change the name of the stream today. Edit stream info. It says Ganji Reacts Top 10 Games. That's not what we're doing. I forgot to change the name of the stream. That was my bad. I'm stupid. I don't ever forget to do that. That's weird. It's usually one of the first things I do. Got everything else working. And then when we can get everything working in a really neat and professional manner, as we get that right, because we've improved so much over this. I'll show you again, because this is how I started the stream talking about this. This is our channel, Ganja Kid, on Twitch, on YouTube. And all the streams are uploaded there. And over the 9 months that we've been rolling, actually this channel started 4 years ago, look, with my Mario Maker plays, but we started the stream 9 months ago with a little bit of our Hearthstone there. Stream episode 3, brand new noob. That was my first one where I'm talking and doing the internet browser. rating bears. So there's my first streams. They were 9 months ago. Our first streams, this thing we do together, 9 months ago. And in that 9 months, we've gone from just a computer in a room with a really cheap microphone to top quality microphone, which I've always owned. I just had to buy a little thing to get it into the computer, which thanks to the tippies and chippies and the subs and all that, can afford that now. We've got the microphone quality. We've got the picture quality, which can be improved. We're going to be looking to go one step up from this. We don't run HDMI into a capture card. I've only got a very cheap capture card for the gameplay, but we could get an expensive capture card, which would improve the quality of the image immediately. And then another step is to get a 4K camera, which will help with the podcast, because I want it's boring, but I want close-ups and the wide shot, and you can either have 3 cameras or one 4K camera and then cut those shots up at 4K, cut it up into 1080p close-ups and set them in OBS. So I can do that with a 4K camera. That's another step. There's things to keep pushing on, but we've come so far because we've come from just me chatting to a microphone in the room. Mental Health Monday's been really consistent. We've managed to consistently do Mental Health Monday every Monday, so I'm really pleased with that. We've played a full game through of Journey of the Broken Circle. We interviewed the developer. Look, we started to get the lights going in the room at that point 7 months ago. And 7 months ago, we started to improve the look of the stream with that lighting. We did the interviews. We got into our stride. There. We did a review of my old Weird Tube. Mental Health Mondays kept going. We played Firewatch. We played the whole thing. That whole playthrough's there. We started then here with Ganji Bus Driver and stuff. We started then to produce our edits channel, Ganji Kid Art Clips, Ganji Kids, Ganji Cuts. So we started to add those other channels to the mix. We've got the podcast studio set up. That's ready to roll now. That's ready to rock and roll. Just going to set up some guests, do some trial runs, taking the foot off the gas till Christmas for that. Don't have to stress myself. Christmas is coming. Family life is getting fractious and tense again. But it's all ready to roll. And in the new year, we're going to be doing a podcast as well as the stream. And that's going to be the thing that can be 20,000 views a month. One episode a month, 20,000 views a month, get a sponsor, sustainability. That can be that thing, hopefully. Fingers crossed. If we just work at it and do a good job, I'm sure we can get there. So we do that. We started playing these more fun games. At this point now, a month ago, I feel like I'm actually confidently turning it on. It works. I know what I'm doing. I've got all my lights. I didn't do the right name for the stream today, but I make little mistakes still sometimes. But, I'm not shuffling windows about so much. I know what's going on. Everything's working. All the microphones are working. All the sound's working. It's all working nice and smoothly. And then we did Moonlighter, didn't we? Around this sort of time now, a month ago, a couple of weeks ago, I feel like I'm really hitting this proper stride of play a little game, play it through to the end, like we nearly did with this one, a little indie game, and then do a nice edit of the art chat, the review, the culture, the things, the feelings. That worked really well with Moonlighter. Worked really well. And if I can find enough time in my schedule to play, edit, stream, if I can get that balance right, then those edit streams, the edit channels can be nice, solid. The stream can be nice and solid. And we can keep improving. That's the key. With all that improvement we've done over this 1 year, 9 months. My nan died on Boxing Day, and January, February was tough. And I said to myself, look, I'm just going to start streaming it. So I've thought about doing it for a long time. I'm just going to chuff him. I'll do it. So from literally just turn on the computer, I've got a webcam and a headset and a cheap microphone. Got that. Play some Hearthstone. See if it works. From there, we've come such a long way in a relatively short time. We've hit affiliate. Thank you to Capital K for doing a sub bomb, dropping a sub bomb and launching us to affiliate. Thank you to Capital K. And of course, thank you to Snippy Snips, who has dropped her own sub bombs and tippy bombs that have kept this train rolling, this improvement happening. I bought a PlayStation. We don't play on it as much as I thought we would, but it's there for gameplay. I use the Nintendo Switch a lot because I got one I've had one for a while, and I think it's a good system, and I get a lot of games on sale there. But coming up soon, I was going to say, oh shit, I'm going to swear, but I chuff you not. Coming up soon, we've got virtual reality. We're going to be adding virtual reality to the stream. I'm not going to shout about it a lot, just going to get it working, and then I'm going to show it you when it works. Great. And that should involve other people as well, hopefully in this room for some fun. That's coming. Looking for, to build for the new year, to cruise into the Christmas period now without having to chuff myself up with too many different spinning plates, but keep this going. Then in the new year, New Year's, new starts and all that, we've got this rolling, we add the podcast, maybe the virtual reality content. We start moving forward even further, that's even more improvement. And we've done such a lot in such a short time. Hopefully by the end of next year we can be sustainable. Hopefully that. Yeah, I'm just really pleased with all that, with the growth. So it really helps me out if you subscribe, you share, you all that business. Yeah, we just have to keep pushing forward and improving. And that's the final thing I was going to say, was that the final level of improvement is I run on a really old rickety 2014 Mac computer, and we're going to upgrade to a nice modern Twitch ready, gaming ready, Steam ready, high-tech modern PC. They're quite expensive, so once we've got all this other stuff rolling and steady, midway through next year when the podcast is regular, and I can say there's the money, it's coming in regular. I'm saving up from the tippies and chippies, but also I've got to eat, and I spend money on all this other stuff, so saving up. Eventually we'll get to a point where I'll say this is the right time to buy that computer and 4K camera and 4K camera, just another sort of 3 to 5 grand. But we'll get there, and it will make another jump in the market improvement of the stream. You'll see the picture quality will improve. That will be a big thing, and so will the ability. At the moment, there are things that, it sounds silly, but there are things that are just so easy on Windows, Steam, Twitch, Streamlabs. They all work together. But the minute you start asking it to do it on an old 2014 Mac, it starts saying, hang on. No, just open up and download this Windows thing. And I'm like, I don't have Windows. I've got Mac. Can you do it for Mac? Oh, no, we don't do it for Mac. Or if we do, it works, but not for your thing. And it breaks this other thing when you try and use it and all that. That will be a problem I won't have to worry about anymore. At the moment, it's a bit MacGyvered. It's a bit held together with gaffer tape. It's a bit of a extension lead and a adapter and a $10 capture card. It's not really, it is really a $10 capture card, but it's not really a capture card. Cheap but cheerful getting it done at the moment. But as we improve those to, solid, reliable, consistent, it brings in this other layer of, oh, you can just download that overlay. Oh, you can just do that in the window there. And you can just get online with so-and-so because they're also on the same system. So, more things will happen in the future. I know it's not content for me to talk about what you're going to do in the content. That's not content. Doing it is content. But, we've done a nice long stream tonight, and I just thought I'd fill you in on some of my feelings, aspirations, goals, drives, and also the main thing that I want to say, and I say it all the time, but I won't stop saying it, and I'm not going to stop saying it, is thank you. Because when I started this 9 months ago, it was supposed to be something, like I viewed it as something positive I could do in my life. We were on lockdown, and we've been on lockdown for a year. I'd been a carer for a year. I'd given up on my media work just to care for my nan. I moved her into our house. So it'd been a difficult year, and I just wanted to just do something that I found fun, enjoyable, relaxing, positive. And I knew that also I wanted to try and, before when I made ASMR and stuff, that was just it. Those feelings were enough. But now I know that I have to find some sustainability in it. It has to be financially sustainable, or at least pay for itself, and whatever. So I had ideas and aims, but I didn't really envisage. I hoped that by the end of the year we would have gathered enough followers so that we could try and approach affiliate. But I think what we've done is we've done reasonably. How do I say this? Some streamers seem to explode out of nowhere, and I know that you can buy followers, and you can buy viewers, and you can buy view bots, and you can play certain games with the logarithms and make certain kinds of content that boost. But I'm not into any of that. So I know that being a small streamer, and in the space of less than a year, to have 5 or 10 viewers is absolutely massive, and I feel really grateful for that. And I also know that 5 or 10 viewers, even if they all subscribed, all of them subscribed, it wouldn't quite hit my affiliate thing, it wouldn't quite hit that target, so I knew that it was a lofty target. But I didn't realise that the core group that we've got here, the Ganji Puka Warrior crew, were both so committed and benevolent and charitable's not really, I'm not a charity, but helpful, charitable. I didn't realise they'd go to the extent that they have to support me in the levels. Like, we have per capita, per person on this stream, we have much higher support levels than the average. If you average out how many people watch a stream, how many people send tippies, chippies, gift subs, whatever, I think we've got quite a high level of interaction with that versus number of people. So we float quite high, or I do, on the sustainability factor. The amount of Twitch money that comes in per month is absolutely massive to me. It's not hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, but to me it makes a huge difference, because when I started there was nothing. So we've gone from nothing to affiliate and regular routine, what I can call, looking back on the year, I made more sustainable, steady money this year, and it's not big money, but steady, sustainable, regular, than I did the year before. I mean, on the year before, obviously I was caring for my nan and I only got carer's allowance, or even the year before that, trying to fight my way to get film jobs and getting a £500 job here and a £700 job there, and then doing nothing for 2 months. Like, this has been more steady increase, consistent. I'm very, very grateful for that. We've changed one little thing recently, which is that coffee tip, Ko-fi. So if next year all the same amount of people send all the same amount of tips, I'll get twice as much, because Twitch take 50%, but now Ko-fi give me everything, all of it. So I can actually increase my income in that way by just nothing changing, just by the people that have already been gracious enough to support and tip and chippy, just by them using that Ganji coffee thing down there, that makes another huge difference to me. So I'm hoping for a really good year next year with the addition. Like, if we can make that improvement over this year, that level of improvement, consistency on the Mental Health Monday, consistency in general on streaming, even though I'm not here every day, all the time, every day, we are consistently streaming, consistently generating now content that's worth editing into little reviews, little art pieces, little fun pieces, consistently doing that, adding into that a podcast, an interesting conversation, a 3-hour, 2-hour interesting conversation with someone interesting that's meaningful and valuable, adding that into that mix, and then that other aspect, this little sprinkle, a little salt bay of VR content, because that's coming, a little sprinkle salt bay of virtual reality content. I'm not going to become a virtual reality streamer, but just a salt bay of virtual reality content. Then I think we've got something valuable there, haven't we? And its growth should be, I'm going to keep the same level of energy into it. So in terms of the quality of the media, by this time at the end of next year, I really hope to have achieved those other things, like I said, sharper, crisper 4K quality image, or at least 1080p shot on 4K, so it's really crisp and sharp. Powerful computer that can run those little, again, Salt Bay things, so not worth spending £2,000 on now, but also this aspect of reassuring reliability, that everything's not put together with gaffer tape and you see, there we go. The battery ran out while I was saying it. The battery ran out while I was saying it. Just going to change the old battery. And you can get a thing for this as well, like a plug battery that you can get like a plug battery that goes in that, and it will keep it on forever. But, you know, little things. The image will repair itself in just a second. But yeah, little things, quite big things. The consistency, improve the quality of the image, get the big PC. It'll put a few more aspects to the stream that we can do, a few more things, a few more little Salt Bay touches, the VR and the podcast, all for the new year. VR might come in before Christmas, but all for the new year for that. Dreams and aspirations. If by this time next year we've got that set in place and I'm consistently streaming and editing, I'd love to get somebody else to help me with the editing. I can't afford it, but you know, in the future, you know, I really feel that we're going in completely the right direction then, and that the media that we produce as well, it has value. It has value. We give it out for free in the hope that people will support it, they will help support the growth. And then we can get the sponsor to take that pressure off. I'm not here to grift you. I'm not here to earn $200 like either. Not pointing any fingers, but DSP. Not pointing any fingers, but some people seem to, you know, I understand this is not for me to try and generate a group of people who are going to support me financially for the rest of my life. That's not the plan. The plan is to help the media products that we create together to grow through your support, your tippies and chippies. You can see me putting the money into doing it, to making it better. You can see it getting better to the point where it attracts, or we can put a media product together that can attract a sponsor, and that takes the day-to-day pressure, you know, the money that I need to spend for my rent and my food. That takes that pressure off. You don't have to worry about that. You tippy and chippy and you help it grow as well. You can do whatever. I'm not going to turn down the chippies and chippies, of course. I'm always going to be eternally grateful for them. But they can then become more like the icing on the cake, the extra frills and the extra luxuries, and the core sustainability can be taken off your shoulders. That's the way I want to look at that. And so, yeah, that's what we're driving towards. That's the path we're on. And I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful that we're able to do it together, because I can't do it on my own, obviously. I can do the talking bit, but the rest of it doesn't happen on its own, does it? So I think I might be out of sync now because the battery ran out and the camera. I think I might be out of sync with my talking. Little things, isn't it? It's little things. Yeah. And that's us driven towards the end of stream now, really. I'm just chuffing now. I'm just chuffing. Did I have something else to say? Did I have something else to say before I go? No, I think that's it. I think we've had good fun today. I think it's been good. We've had a nice game of something interesting. And like I said, I don't have to be the streamer that finishes everything for you. If you get inspired to go and play a game, that's good, isn't it? That's good. Come back in a couple of weeks and I'll have finished it, worked it out, done a little, I'll work out what to do about how to finish this, whether to do it on stream or whether to finish it off stream and then come back and show you the finished article. I'll work it out. You tell me in the comments, however you feel. And you be good. You be good. I'm just yabbling now, so I'm going to knock it on the head. You be good, my little puckos. You have been good. And if you can't be good, then looks like someone's got a nice, neatly made bed to sleep in for tonight. If you can't be good. You be good, my little puckos.